This exercise is lying prone. It's your Cobra back raise with alternate leg lifts. So you're going to be lying face down. Now it is a back extension, so it may be unsuitable for certain back problems, particularly disc-related back problems. So it's one you might have to make a modification for. I will show you some of the modified versions as we lie down. So we're really strengthening the back of the body, the spine, and the glutes and hamstrings. So lots of scapular stability involved with this one. So let me show you your basic Cobra position. So from here, it's like you're pushing the marble away with your nose. Push the marble away, lift the forehead, the nose, the chin. And as the chest lifts, just really slide those shoulder blades down. And then we're going to prop yourself up into this kind of position. That's your basic half Cobra. Notice I call it half Cobra because my bottom rib, my 12th rib, is still on the mat. So I'm kind of propping myself up here, but you can see there's a big sag in my lumbar spine because I'm just letting my stomach and my abs hang out. So I really want to kind of pull those in here as well. So I'm not just collapsing either in the shoulders or in the core, pulling in, drawing down. Okay, so you can see the extent of the back extension here, okay, and then gently coming back down. So that's your half Cobra position. Now we're going to combine this with an arm raise and the opposite leg raise. So what I want you to think about when you raise the arm, let me just show you here now, just the arm on its own, okay, requires a lot of scapular stability, in particularly the workings and the strength of the lower trapezius. Remember, the lower trapezius will slide your shoulder blade down away from your ear so that when the arm is lifted, you're not hiking it up. So really pulling that shoulder blade down, making that nice gap between ear and shoulder. Not everybody can do that or have good control over those muscles. So you can see my arm position, it's kind of 10 to 2 if you think of the hands on a clock. Now, the closer my hands are together, the harder it is for me to keep that shoulder pulled away from the ear. So if I'm starting at 10 to 2 and somebody's doing this, then it's not worth doing because they're just putting more tension into the upper trapezius and they're not working the lower trapezius at all. So if that's the case, then you can widen the arms out to 2 to 3 because the lower the arms, the easier it is to pull that shoulder away from the ear. Now you're combining it with lifting the opposite leg. I'm going to lift the leg that's closest to you just so that you can see. And what I want you to imagine, it's not necessarily about the height, but I really want you to think about lengthening. So remember that principle of opposition. Feel like somebody's just pulled that leg out of the hip socket. So before you lift the leg, push the pubic bone into the mat, squeeze the glutes, and stretch that big toe along the floor. Try to stretch the leg out of the hip socket, then lift it. Okay, so it's really nice and tight. You can see before I even lift the leg that I engage the glutes just by stretching it. The glutes tighten up, then I lift it. Okay, so really thinking about lengthening, my arm reaching this way as far as possible without my shoulder hiking up to the ear. So I want to get that arm stretched, but that stability in the shoulder at the same time. And so my arm's reaching north, my shoulder is reaching south, my leg is reaching south, and my core is pulling in before I even think about lifting the spine. So getting that oppositional stretch between the arm and the leg, okay? Lots of core stability, lots of scapular stability before you even raise the spine or strengthen that glute. So it looks like this. Breathe in to prepare, exhale, engage the core, reach opposite arm and leg and lift. Again, keeping that bottom rib on the floor and then gently lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Also, what I want you to watch out is that as the leg and arm lift, you don't twist to one side, not rocking to the opposite side. So really keeping that presence in line, nice and tight. Okay, Jasmine? So for somebody that has back problems where they can't perhaps go into spinal extension, you can just keep their head down and either just lift one arm, or you can lift opposite arm and leg if they feel okay with that, or they could just lift one arm, then push it down, other arm, then push it down. And they may also lift alternate legs. So there are modified versions you can do for those with back problems where it keeps the spine in a more neutral, safe position for them. Okay, Jasmine, so you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, slide those shoulder blades down and really reach those fingers, spread them wide, straighten those elbows, suck in the core. And you're just going to push the marble away with your nose, lift the forehead, the nose, the chin, and just gently lift the chest. And there's your basic half cobra position. Now she can bend her elbows and prop herself up. That's it there. So this bottom rib has got to be on the floor. That's your basic cobra position. So if you didn't want to lift the arm and the leg, for those clients, that maybe are uncoordinated, you could just have them come up to this half cobra position where they're propping themselves up on the elbow, provided they can go into spinal extension, and then stretch the arms back down and lower back down. So again, you can do this cobra position without lifting the arm and leg, or you can just lift the arm and leg without doing the cobra position. So lots of different modifications and variations. But let's now just think about stretching that arm out of the shoulder socket, spreading the hand, reach. It's like you're trying to touch something that's just out of reach. And at the same time, draw that shoulder back, but without hiking it. Don't lift it too high. That's it. Now lift the arm. That's it. And stretch that elbow. Slide that shoulder down. Beautiful. And then gently reach. So we really want energy pushing out through those fingertips and gently down. Now I want Jasmine to feel with our opposite leg, like I've really pulled this thigh out of the hip socket. She's going to push her pubic bone down to engage the glutes, engage the core, and stretch that big toe along the floor, and then lifting it up. So the glute is engaged before she even lifts, because she's tensing it just from lengthening that leg along the floor. Yes, so now we're going to combine. We're going to lift right arm, left leg, head and chest, but keeping that opposition, stretching out. Deep breath in. Gently blow out, engage core, slide the shoulder blades down, lift the hand, the arm, the head, the leg, all at once. Beautiful. That's it. I'm really pushing the crown of the head into my finger, lengthening the head north, stretching the leg south, pulling that shoulder down, drawing that core in, and release. Opposite side, exhale and lift. Stretch and lift. And gently down. And gently lifting up. And down. And one more, exhale, lift, stretching the fingers and toes. And gently release. And that's your half cobra lifting alternate legs.